One of the things I get asked about the most is how do I clean and maintain my grills. So today I'm going to show you exactly that. It's not going to be a cooking video. I'm going to dive into my kind of weekly maintenance process for my grills. I'm going to show you how I clean my charcoal grill, my pellet cooker, and my gas grill. So hopefully some of these will apply to the grills that you guys have at the house, and I'll show you exactly what I do, how I do it, so you can do it yourself at home. Before we get to the cleaning, let's go over some of the products that I'm going to be using today. And none of these are sponsored or paid for. I've been using these for a couple years now. So first up, probably the most important tool is this small paint scraper. Now this is great for removing any grime, anything that's kind of caked on your grills, on the grates. So definitely recommend one of these. Next up, I've got this. This is the ash tool from a company called Smokeware. And this thing has a notch on the end right here. And this is perfect for scraping your grates. And then on the other side, I use this to move my charcoal around on the charcoal grill. So probably seen me use this a whole bunch of times. Next up, for cleaning the grates, I've got this metal mesh scraping brush. You want to stay away from the brushes that have the metal bristles, because those can come off. They can get stuck to the grates and then get stuck to your food, and you don't want to be eating that. So I use one of these. This one is great. Great for cleaning the grates. And finally, I've got the Barbecue Daddy. So this is from Scrub Daddy. I don't use this thing too often, but it's awesome when your grates are extra greasy. So I'll show you how to use one of these. And then finally, I've got some grill cleaning wipes. So this is perfect for cleaning the outside of your grills. Honestly, anything will work. This is what my local Ace Hardware had in stock. Sometimes I like using the alligator wipes. Like that's like a green pouch. Also these kind of pre-moistened wipes. And that's pretty much it. You honestly don't even need all this equipment to keep your grills clean. This is just kind of what I like to use at home, but I'll show you exactly how all these tools work and how they apply to the different grills that I'm going to be cleaning today. First up, let's do the Weber kettle, since this is the grill that I use the most, and it's honestly the easiest one to maintain and keep clean. Also, one other point, anytime you're cleaning your grills, wear gloves. They're greasy, they're dirty, and that stuff just kind of sticks to your hands. So use gloves, just makes it easier and keeps things nice and clean. Now for this grill, because it is charcoal, there's plenty of ash on the bottom. I'm gonna take it off my deck and put it on the grass. Again, just to make things a little bit easier. Just put it right over here. All right, so first up, ooh, look at this. So this, right, you might think this is paint peeling off, but it's actually smoke, it's grease, it's stuff that got kind of baked and caked on the bottom of the lid. So I'm going to put this off to the side for now. And here is the grate, and as you can see, it's kind of crusty, right? Not very clean looking. Now, one thing to keep in mind, the best time to clean your grill grates is when they're still warm. They don't have to be hot, but when they're warm, it's just easier to remove a lot of this stuff. As you can see, my grill is cold, it's not lit, so I'll just show you the process of how to scrape it, but it might not be as effective since the grill is off. So I'm going to use this brush to scrape the grates, right? And you just take it and just go back and forth, right? To remove as much of that crud and baked on grease as you can. See, but even with the grill off, you can see that a lot of the stuff is coming off. The grates are looking better already. Just kind of get, the nice thing about this brush too is that it's kind of rounded on the sides here, so you can get this in between the grooves and get the size as well. Okay, but that's looking pretty good. So I'm going to remove the grate. Let's take this thing out, put it right next to my lid. Now here is the charcoal grate. So for this, I'm just going to give it a couple taps, right? Get all the charcoal, the ash off of it. Throw this on the side. Next, we've got all this ash on the bottom from the charcoal. And on the kettle, all you have to do is just move this handle that's on the side, and all this ash is going to get dropped down to the ash basket underneath the grill. I also like to take my paint scraper now and just kind of work around the grill from top to bottom and just get all this other ash, anything else that's really kind of baked on, and just get it right into these holes into the bottom of the grill. See, so just kind of work your way around. See, all this stuff is coming right off. That's why the paint scraper, is probably my favorite tool when it comes to cleaning and maintaining your grill. Now you're probably, maybe wondering why even scrape some of this kind of burnt on grease and grime off the grill if it's just on the bottom underneath the grates anyway. So as the charcoal is burning and you have all this stuff caked on the sides, that's gonna just heat up and create this kind of nasty, sooty style of smoke, that's gonna make your food taste bad. So the cleaner your grill is, the better your food is gonna taste, just like everything else. So take your time and keep your grills clean and your food will taste a lot better. Now, one other thing I want to mention, so this is not like a deep clean or an annual clean that I'm doing on my grill. This is more of a weekly maintenance, right? Now, I use these all the time, pretty much every day. So depending on how often you use your grills, you might do this maybe once a month, maybe every other month. If it gets a little more buildup is when you really want to clean your grills and get a lot of this stuff off the sides, and your grills will just work better, your food's gonna taste better, and everything's gonna be better. Perfect. So now all the ash is underneath the grill in my ash collection bucket. So I'm gonna take this off. See, look at this. Whole thing is filled with ash. I have a aluminum can that I use for all my ash since we use our grills all the time. So I just dump this right in here. And then once this fills up, it'll go in the trash. And this goes back in here. There we go. And now in reverse order, we'll reassemble everything. So the charcoal grate goes in first. Main grate goes in next. Okay. Now, before I put the lid in, right, we've got all this stuff peeling off, all the kind of the grease, the smoke, everything that's caked on the bottom. So this is where our paint scraper comes in handy. So just put the lid on the ground here. See, and everything just comes right off. You don't have to scrape hard. You can even just use a paper towel or a wipe even. If you leave this stuff on when you fire up the grill, it's just gonna peel off and kind of fall down on your food. So it's important to really clean this off. And like I said, a lot of it will depend on how often you use your grills and what you cook on it. Because we use ours pretty much every day, it's a weekly process to get them clean. Okay, I'll go here, dump it in the can. There we go, looking good. So the lid goes on. Now, one more thing to clean the outside. You can use use a paper towel. I like using these wipes again just because they make it easier. They're already pre-moistened. Just kind of wipe the outside, get all the dirt off. Clean the handle. And I'm gonna finish it off. Wipe everything down with a clean paper towel. Look at that, like new. See, so that, my friends, is how you clean a Weber kettle in under 5 minutes, right? Quick, easy, and I promise you it's gonna make a big difference with how the grill performs, how it operates, and more importantly, how your food tastes if you keep your grills clean and maintained. Next up, let's clean the Searwood. So this one is probably the most involved. There's the most stuff inside that I need to clean. So let me show you exactly how to do it. I'm gonna fold down this front shelf so it's a little easier to get into, and there she is. Now, as you can see, these grates are pretty bad. Last week we cooked 10 pork shoulders and 6 whole prime ribs for an event, and I haven't had a chance to clean it yet. But before I clean the grates, I'm gonna just take them out, and we're gonna do this a little bit later. I'll show you exactly how to do it and the best way to clean these super greasy and grimy grates. I'm just gonna put them right here on the side for now. Okay, now with any pellet cooker, it's super important to clean the inside, get all that grease, all the dirt out, because that's how these grills can catch on fire, right? If you keep them greasy and grimy, that stuff can just ignite and it's not a good time. So let's get to cleaning. On the Searwood, the first thing here is this metal kind of guard heat deflector, right? And what I like to do is we're gonna clean all this stuff inside the grill and then use the bottom grease cover or grease tray to remove everything out. And this is where the paint scraper comes in very handy. All you do, just take your paint scraper, I'll start on this side, and just start scraping. See, all this stuff just comes right off. All this baked on grease, fat. I do this maybe once a week with the Searwood because we use these grills all the time. But if you just use it maybe once or twice a week, you can probably, you'll probably need to do this only once a month, right? Again, it will just depend on how caked on and greasy this top plate is. Once this part is clean, you can take it out the grill. See, and you can see it looks so much better than it did before. Set this off to the side. Next up, on a pellet cooker, again, using the fancy handy dandy paint scraper, I'm gonna go around the inside of the grill. I'm just gonna scrape anything that's caked on, just like this. See, like you can see, all this just falling right off. And just like on the kettle, just work your way around, scraping everything down. See, look at this. That is pretty bad. Okay, next up, I'm gonna empty out the ash collector. So this is where all the ash falls in. So this will go into my bucket. Put this off to the side. Next, there's one more piece that we need to scrape clean inside the grill. See, look at this. Look how grimy and greasy this whole thing is. So again, paint scraper and just kind of get all this stuff off. See. Again, we cooked, this was after a super long overnight cook with 10 pork shoulders, followed by 6 whole prime ribs. So there was a lot of grease, a lot of fat that rendered down. That's why it is so dirty, but it's also super important then to clean all this off before the next cook. All right, that looks good. Let's put this off to the side. So first up, so this is the grease collection tray, right? So all the fat that renders down, it flows down to here. Again, take my handy dandy paint scraper and just dump all this. It looks like peanut butter, but it doesn't taste like peanut butter, so don't eat it, all right? Let's put this off to the side, and now this whole bottom tray, look, watch this. It just slides right out. Look at all this grease and grime. So now I'm just gonna, again, using my paint scraper, just push it down the opening. I had some pellets fall into it. That's why you see the pellets. Normally there wouldn't be any pellets in the tray here, but that's all that it takes. And now I'm gonna slide this whole tray back right in here. Slide our grease collector. And now I'm gonna reassemble everything in reverse order. So first up, we've got this bottom piece. This right here. Next, we've got the ash collector. We've got our heat deflector. And finally, my dirty grate. So I'm gonna put these guys right back in here, just as they were. Take my gloves off. I'm gonna close the grill and I'm gonna fire this thing up. I'm gonna set it for about 250 degrees. Then I'll show you guys how to use the Scrub Daddy to get those grates super clean. All right, my grill has preheated. It's about 250 degrees. Now, here's the beauty of the Scrub Daddy. So this is a kind of another metal mesh head to clean the grates. And what you do is take a little container of cold water and just dunk this whole head in the water. And I'm gonna start brushing these grates. And see, the steam that's generated is cleaning all this off. Look at that, they look, I mean, they look brand new. See, so this is, the Scrub Daddy is the best tool for cleaning grill grates that are super greasy, right? It's not really good for caked on grease, but if it's just regular kind of grease like this, it just comes right off. Right, and then just give it another dunk in the cold water. Look how dirty this is, see? Look at all this stuff just comes right off. And then we'll finish it off. See? So that, my friends, is how you clean a Weber Searwood. Oh, now, for the Scrub Daddy, here, check this out. You're probably wondering, how do you clean this off? There's a little clip on the side. This whole thing pops out, and you can put it in the dishwasher, put it in the sink, and it's ready to go for next time. One other thing to mention about the Searwood, so just like on the kettle, you can use those same wipes to clean the outside, but this grill is actually pretty clean because it's been standing under our gazebo, so I'm not going to wipe it right now. But if you did want to clean it, those grill wipes work really well on this as well. Before we start on the gas grill cleaning and maintenance, I want to mention the Weber Slate Griddle. I always get some comments and questions about maintaining my griddle, and I do have a full assembly, review, and cleaning video you can check out right up here or up here. I'm not sure on which side that shows up. I also have one on the Searwood as well, so if you're curious how these grills work, how to assemble them, my thoughts on them, you can watch those videos and learn some more. Next up, let's do the Weber Spirit gas grill. So this is one of my first gas grills. I haven't had a gas grill in a super long time, but it's a type of grill that I'm sure most of you guys have at home. It's definitely one of the more popular grills. So let's clean this one out. And the process is going to be very similar to the Searwood. So I'm going to start by removing the grates. And these are a little bit different. They're not round. They're just kind of V-shaped. They're a little cruddy, but not super bad. So let's take these grates out. Oh, let me get my handy dandy paint scraper. See, I'm telling you guys, this tool is the absolute best for cleaning grills. So first up, on most gas grills, especially on Weber's, you're gonna have these flavorizer bars that are right over the burners. Now these ones are actually pretty clean. They're not as dirty, but if you did have a bunch of buildup, grease or dirt, just use your paint scraper to scrape everything down. But like I said, these are pretty clean. So I'm gonna move, oh, this edge is a little dirty. Scrape this down a little bit. So that looks good. Same with this one. Next, I'm going to use my paint scraper to clean the inside, get all this crud off the edges. Right, so we're just kind of scraping. Now, depending on what grill you have at home and how much you can disassemble it, the next part might be, or the next step is going to be a little bit different on the Spirit. This whole bottom shelf slides out the back. So let me pull that out so you can hear. Keep the camera right here so you can see. See, talk about easy maintenance. So here is the bottom shelf with all this other caked on grease. There's the grease catch tray. Put it right here for now. Now let's go over my bucket. And again, using the same paint scraper, I'm gonna get all this off. Weber made it really easy with these new Spirit grills to clean them out. I mean, this is as easy as it gets. There we go. I'm gonna go put this right back in here. And finally, I'm gonna empty out my grease tray. Oh yeah, look at that. Slide this back in here. And now we'll reassemble in reverse order. So flavorizer bars going first. Next up, we've got our grates. So I'm gonna clean these the same way that I did the ones on the Searwood. I'm gonna start the grill, get these preheated, and I'm gonna use the Scrub Daddy to get them nice and clean. All right, grill is preheated, grates are nice and hot. Let's get our Barbecue Daddy nice and wet. Just sounds so weird saying that. Here we go. Oh, look at that. It's just crazy how well this works. Having the grill preheated, these grates nice and hot, it just creates all this steam as soon as the Barbecue Daddy hits it. So grates are clean. So I'm gonna wipe the outside of this grill next, again using my handy dandy grill wipes. So you can see this one's got a bunch of grease and stuff on the cover here. This will get it super clean looking. There we go. Clean all this off. Clean the handle. And these ones, so this Spirit grill, along with my kettle, are the Stealth series. So that's why I have this kind of flat black look to them, and they just look really cool. Let's wipe this off. Finish it off with a paper towel. And the grill is like new, ready to go. So again, this is my kind of weekly maintenance process because we use these grills pretty frequently. You know, depending on how often you use your grills at home, you might do this maybe once a month, maybe once every other month. And this is not a winterizing, kind of storing, you know, deep cleaning. There's a little more involved process where you can use degreasers and cleaners to really get everything else cleaned out a little more thoroughly. But for everyday cooking, just kind of cooking throughout the summer, this maintenance, this cleaning that I did today is honestly all that you need. If there's anything else you guys are curious about or you want to see me make or have questions about any of these grills that I have back here, just leave a comment down below. I want to make sure that I provide valuable content to you and things that you are interested in. And if you are new here, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We put out weekly recipe cooking videos where I share different tips, tricks, cleaning tutorials, grill reviews. So be sure to check them out, and I'll see you guys next time.